In this video, I'm going to show you how I use Hermes Agent for my investment research. And honestly, it's like having 10 people that do all the work for me. And I'm like, finally, I'm not going to miss any opportunities because my Hermes Agent is monitoring, doing backtest, research, journal, and document everything. I'm going to show in detail in this video how I do it and how you can implement it for your AI agent. So you're going to have beautiful reports like I do, like on here, where I have all the details. Even we're going to show the result of some people on Twitter. You're going to see it's going to be interesting. For here, I'm going to use my Hermes Agent. I have a cloud version with flyhermes.ai. If you want one, it's here. And why I like it is you just ask your agent how you can help for your investment, and it's going to tell you. It can check the supply chain teardowns, the management background, earning calls transcripts, everything that will needed manual intervention before, it will do it for you automatically. And instead of talking, I guess we can have a real case study with here, where I was one of the first ones to know that situational awareness filled up the 13F report. That's the fund run by this guy. If you don't know him, well, ask your Hermes agent right now to check what he's doing and his move, because many of the stocks that he picks in his fund did more than 10x. So we use it for different things, right? Capturing the signal, verify the claim, build the artifact, and keep watching. By the way, this presentation was also done by my agent. So a viral clip, for example, become a trade map for us, because the agent's going to open the X post, pull the media, transcribe the clip, and then map the bottleneck. It will understand what are the different pieces. Here, AI compute scaling is becoming a power scarcity trade. PPAs, nuclear grid equipment, transformers, data center, electrical infra. And that was from a clip where Leopold talked, which is a real case study. Then again, another one. Chat notes become a living dashboard. So instead of leaving ideas in Telegram, Hermes turned them into structured research. Watchlist, source, scorecards, thesis note, catalyst, and risk field. So that's the investment dashboards. And I use it to, every time I do a trade, it will tell me which trade I did. And sometimes I have some question. For example, I thought maybe it's a good idea to use the fear and greed index to know when to buy. When the fear is really low, or actually really high in that context, so the index is low, fear is below, the score is below 25, we actually don't have much more return of investment. It's just when the greed index is really high, then okay, we have lower returns. But if we DCA, we actually make more money. So then what would be good is to just put a little bit all the time, because even when extreme greed is above 75, we had a return over 12 months that was 21%. And we don't have a big difference. So DCA is just better. And that's roughly on the 5 past years. Now, a newsletter, for example, that I bought, I scraped everything to know if what they talk about is good. And same, my Hermes agent scraped everything in the newsletter and checked what was their returns over 12 months. And when were the best calls and the worst calls. And that's the difference, where once you have Hermes agent with Fly Hermes, for example, this is the last service you need to buy. You don't need another service. You don't need another alert system. It's going to do all the work for you. When I receive the alert, I don't only have the information, I can also act on the information. I can have all the stocks that he bought and sold. I can interact with it. And that's one of the big things is every time you see like, oh, I give you this, you should have listened to me. I give you that, you should have listened to me. Okay, well, me, I don't trust, I verify. And that's why I'm building my own database of those profiles where my agent backtest. So it will check all their previous tweets, what is their return, and if they're good or not, and what were the best calls. So instead of like checking on just one, it goes on all of them And for that, we use the Twitter API. On that one, for example, it scraped 700 tweets. I'm actually thinking to build that as a website because I think it's pretty insightful to know who is actually good at making some calls and having a real idea. And for each of those influencers, we always check the backtest versus the S&P 500 because if they can't beat it, what's the point? We should just do that. And that's why we have it to monitor every time there's a change, the backtest. Research, once you give it a video or things like that, is gonna go deeper. Document, that's what you see with the website. And journal. When I place a trade, I'm pretty bad at always thinking about writing on my journal, okay, why I placed the trade and everything. Sometime I will just send the message to my agent and my agent will keep it in the memory. And that's some other use cases that it gave. So that's exactly what we use. So verify and extract evidence, exposed to TCS map. So for example, if we have a clip, as I say, we download and then check what is it. Living investment dashboard, Telegram notes, structure, watch list, SIM and risk, FinTwit source alpha, so it's crypto profile, SEC filings, all those elements will be always analyzed. And for that, you just need to have your Hermes agent. You can give it maybe the Twitter API, so you just need to buy a few credits, but also it can access a lot of data for free with the scraping for the stock market. And SEC filings, track management, monitor competitors, run due diligence, all the things you will not normally do, your agent can do it. That's an example of when I send a profile of someone, it will tell me after 1 day, after 1 week of their call, after 1 month, after 3 months, exactly what it would be like. We checked on 547 tweets, okay? So that's the time period. And it tells me if, okay, the guy is good, high beta, AI, memory, optics, momentum, but not clean enough to blindly copy, but clearly not a random. So then when I have few profiles that are good and I see that they call the same stock, it's probably a better alpha. Now let me know, how would you use your AI agents for investing? I think this is literally a massive step forward into how we can do research, how we can have our own tools, our own way of investing, and that's beautiful.